Dear Digibro and Murder Babes and anyone else who hates Sword Art Online, I guess you could say this is kind of like a response video, but I won't call it that. I would call it more like a apology, a defense. It's a defense. This video is a defense of Sword Art Online, and like other people have probably defended Sword Art Online before. A lot of people have ragged on it. A lot of people hate on it. Some people say it's the worst. Some say it's the greatest. I particularly just don't care. I just know that it's one of my favorite anime of all time, and I'm aware that there's flaws in it. I've seen all the videos. I've seen all the analysis. I've seen so many videos of people like discrediting Sword Art Online that I'm sick and tired of it. I'm pretty sure, like, maybe I just haven't looked at somebody's defended Sword Art Online, but here are my just 2 cents. The reason why I like Sword Art Online is 2 reasons. One, it talks about the internet in a way I haven't seen anyone else talk about yet. And two, the romance. The romance part, well, it's probably the less important of the two. In fact, I would go as to say I only like the romance because I haven't actually seen any romance anime yet. If you look up my anime list under the name Valazar, you'll probably see that I haven't watched anything romantic besides Your Line April, which is not really a rom-com, but whatever. So I guess you could kind of like discredit that one. I just liked how their romance like kind of developed over Aincrad, and I don't know, kind of like that part of it. But really, the most important part of me why I like Sword Art Online, and this is why I'm posting this video in response to like Digibro and Mud's Basements, all these other YouTubers who hate Sword Art Online, is that Sword Art Online is the only only anime series I've ever seen to tackle the concept of the internet bringing people together. Like, I've never seen a show talk about like how the internet brings people together. Like, for example, Murders Rosario. Like, because she was playing the game, Asuna got to meet Yuki and they became friends. However, Yuki died and all that happened. But it's like through the internet, people are not lonely anymore. Through the internet, people can meet people, like other people who share the same tastes as them. And you don't really see that in any other anime. Like, people have told me a lot about Log Horizon. I haven't watched it, but what from what I understand, it's less so about the internet and a lot more about how a MMORPG would really work in the real world, and that's not what I'm interested in. Like, the MMO aspect of Sword Art Online is actually probably one of the least interesting ones parts of the show. I mean, like, Much Basement did an entire video like discussing how bad the game was, and I particularly do not care about the game mechanics in Sword Art Online. The game mechanics, the whole premise, the whole setting was just a plot device. It was just a way to get the story going. And like, I personally do not play any MMOs, and so that didn't break me out of the immersion. Like, I don't play any MMOs. Like, I've only played a little bit of WoW, a little bit of Maple Story, and that's about it. I don't particularly care about MMOs. But I'm always interested about MMOs, and this is why I often like want to get into like stuff like EVE Online, because through MMOs, people create a shared experience, a shared story, and stuff like that always interests me. Like, sometimes Polygon, which is like a gaming website that I sometimes go on to, they'll often release these articles about kind of the history of EVE Online and how all these alliances are forming. And I always find that interesting because because these are stories. It's kind of like role playing, kind of not. These are stories that people create together. It's like a collaborative experience. And I guess Sword Art Online kind of represents that to me. Like, yeah, they're stuck inside a dead game, but it's a shared experience. And I know Kirito's not exactly the best main character out there. Like, he's not particularly likable. He's a Gary Stew. But it's like, all these characters are stuck inside a situation. And they, instead of like giving up, they create a story out of it. They create a shared experience. They try to live on. Like, I think, I forgot, I think it's episode 11. They meet a fisherman who was an old like CEO in the real world, but because he's stuck in here, he decided just to go fishing all the time. And it's like, instead of giving up to the situation, he goes and tries to make something out of it. And that also becomes a plot point in Mother Rosario. Like, Mother Rosario, to me, is the best thing about Sword Art Online. Like, Ironclad was pretty good, but Mother Rosario was really good because here you got all these AIDS survivors and all these people who know they're gonna die, but instead of giving up to that, instead of saying, okay, we're just gonna die, so be it, like a very nihilist opinion in the world, instead they try to form experiences online. And like, there's this one scene, I think it's like episode 20 or something, where Yuki's talking to Asuna and they're all the friends, they're like talking about all the experiences they have through the games. They talk about, oh yeah, when I was playing this game, I was a bug. Like, they're just chatting about all the experiences they had. And because they've had all these experiences, they become close together as friends. And it's like, without the internet, they wouldn't have been as satisfied with their life as they would now. And I really like that idea. I like the idea that like the internet is not something negative. It's not something that separates people apart. Like nowadays, with all the politics and Donald Trump and all that, there's always this talk about people going into like bubbles. But the internet is a double-edged sword. It can split people apart, but it can also bring people together. Like, it can bring people who like MMOs together. It can bring people who like anime together. And that's why I like Sword Art Online. I like Sword Art Online because it creates a story about people on the internet who find connections with each other. And yeah, it's not very explored in Alfheim or Gun Gale, but it's the only show I've ever watched that's actually tackled that concept. Please recommend me any show that has something like that. Like, I'll probably watch Troy Door at some point because people tell me there's a lot of romance in it. But I want to see a story that deals with the internet, that deals with connections people make inside the internet, that deals with people like falling in love with the internet and like the I mean, Kirito says that at one point, like season 1 or something, that like who you are on the internet is an extension of who you are in real life, and it's kind of like that. I've never seen a show that does that, and please tell me if there's a show like that because I'd love to watch it.